Anger is one of humanity's most powerful emotions, yet it's often misunderstood and poorly managed. This comprehensive course explores the nature of anger, its impact on our lives, and evidence-based strategies for developing healthier responses to life's inevitable frustrations. Understanding anger's role in daily life isn't just about suppressing negative feelings. It's about developing emotional intelligence and practical tools for self-control that enhance both mental and physical health. Through this journey, we'll discover how to transform anger from a destructive force into a catalyst for positive change. The statistics surrounding anger management in the UK paint a concerning picture of our collective emotional well-being. According to the Mental Health Foundation, 1 in 5 adults experience frequent anger issues that interfere with their daily functioning. It's not only about occasional irritation. It represents a significant portion of the population struggling with intense, recurring emotional discomfort. Research consistently links unchecked anger to serious cardiovascular diseases, with chronic anger increasing heart attack risk by up to 19%. The stress hormones released during anger episodes, cortisol and adrenaline, create a cascade of physiological changes that, over time, damage the immune system and accelerate cellular aging. Perhaps most troubling is the ripple effect on relationships. Substance abuse rates are significantly higher among those with anger issues, and workplace conflicts create ongoing cycles of stress and isolation. Yet 75% of people surveyed believe they could better manage their anger, indicating both awareness of the problem and hope for improvement. At its core, anger is an adaptive emotional response that has helped humans survive for millennia. It's our brain's alarm system, alerting us to perceived threats, injustices, or obstacles to our goals. Far from being a character flaw, anger serves important psychological and social functions when properly understood and managed. Anger involves 3 key components: the cognitive component, which triggers the emotional response; physiological changes, such as increased heart rate and adrenaline surges; and behavioral responses, which can range from withdrawal to confrontation. The physiological cascade of anger is remarkable in its intensity and speed. Within milliseconds of perceiving a trigger, the sympathetic nervous system floods the body with stress hormones. Heart rate can increase by 30-50 beats per minute. Blood pressure rises, and the body prepares to respond. While these responses can be protective, they often create more problems when mismanaged. It's crucial to differentiate anger from its milder cousins, frustration and irritation. Frustration typically arises from blocked goals and tends to be short-lived, while irritation is often triggered by minor annoyances. Anger, however, is a deeper sense of perceived wrong or threat and tends to be more intense and enduring, often leading to thoughts of retaliation or punishment. Anger isn't inherently bad. It can serve healthy functions when expressed appropriately. Healthy anger functions include boundary protection, signaling when our values or rights are violated, and social communication, indicating that something needs attention. It provides the emotional fuel needed for difficult confrontations and self-advocacy, helping us stand up for ourselves in challenging situations. Historical examples abound of anger driving positive social change, from suffragettes fighting for voting rights to civil rights activists demanding justice. This righteous anger, channeled constructively, becomes a powerful force for personal and societal transformation. The critical difference between healthy and unhealthy anger lies in the distinction between expression and aggression. Healthy anger expression involves communicating our feelings and needs clearly, without resorting to aggression. Anger, when expressed destructively, can escalate to dominance, punishment, or harm, often escalating conflicts rather than resolving them. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of anger management. Yet many people struggling with anger issues don't recognize the signs until significant damage has occurred. The gradual normalization of frequent anger and the inability to control emotional irritation has evolved into a persistent pattern impacting relationships and health. Emotional indicators of problematic anger include frequent outbursts, persistent resentment, and feeling constantly on edge or ready to explode. Relationship impact is seen in family members avoiding or walking on eggshells, colleagues expressing concern, and friends making excuses to avoid contact. Physical health symptoms include tension in jaw, neck, and shoulders, sleep disturbances, elevated blood pressure, and increased heart rate. Professional markers include receiving complaints at work, being passed over for promotions due to interpersonal issues, or finding that your reputation for having a short fuse precedes you in various situations. Legal consequences, such as arrests or fines, may also result from poorly managed personal struggle with public expression. Most critical is the internal experience of feeling out of control during anger episodes, as if witnessing someone else's behavior while being powerless to stop it. When anger becomes a problem, it's essential to recognize the signs and seek help before it spirals further. Understanding the different expressions of anger is crucial for developing targeted management strategies. Most people have a predominant style, though patterns can shift depending on circumstances, relationships, and stress levels. Each type carries its own risks and requires specific approaches for effective management. Passive anger involves indirect expression through sarcasm, procrastination, or sulking. It often stems from fear of confrontation and can lead to unresolved issues. Aggressive anger is characterized by overt actions like shouting, physical violence, or throwing objects. It can cause immediate impact, but often harms long-term relationships. Assertive anger, the healthiest form, involves direct communication of feelings and needs without resorting to aggression. It benefits personal health, relationships, and workplace success, requiring emotional regulation and respectful dialogue. Research from the American Psychological Association shows that people who learn assertive anger expression report 40% less acting out incidents and significantly improve job satisfaction compared to those using passive or aggressive styles. Anger triggers are highly individual, shaped by personal history, values, current stress levels, and cultural background. However, certain categories of triggers appear consistently across diverse populations. Understanding your personal trigger profile is essential for developing preventive strategies and early intervention techniques. External triggers include work-related stressors, relationship dynamics, daily inconveniences, and social injustices. Internal triggers encompass physical states, cognitive patterns, emotional states, and historical trauma. Particularly potent are situations that combine multiple triggers, like, for example, criticism from a supervisor, authority figure, during a time of personal stress, or poor night's sleep. Cultural and generational factors also play a role, as different societies and time periods may see a person more perfectly acceptable to anger, while the importance of understanding our triggers and our personal hot buttons, rather than assuming universal standards, remains. Detecting awareness of anger's early warning signs is perhaps the most crucial skill in anger management. Like a smoke detector alerting us to fire before flames become visible, recognizing these early indicators allow for intervention before anger spirals beyond your control. Pay close attention to physical, emotional, and cognitive changes that, over time, become reliable signals of impending anger. Physical signals include increased heart rate, muscle tension, and clenched fists. Cognitive changes involve focused thinking, catastrophizing, and rigid perspectives. Emotional shifts may include sudden irritability, sense of injustice, and emotional flooding. Vocal indicators might be speaking louder or faster, voice pitch changes, or abrupt speech patterns. Research from anger management programs shows that individuals who learn to identify their personal early warning signs reduce anger episodes by 50% within 6 months. Practicing what psychologists call metacognitive awareness, being aware of your thoughts and feelings, can significantly improve anger management outcomes. Practice exercise. Keep a warning signs diary for 1 week, noting physical sensations, thoughts, and emotions you experience when beginning to feel angry. Look for patterns that can serve as your personal early alert system. Understanding the anger cycle is pivotal for those who are committed to transforming their emotional responses to avoid unmanaged anger's consequences. The trigger, Thought. Feeling. Action sequence is a fundamental concept in anger management. Recognizing each stage allows for intervention and change. A case study, the missed deadline cycle, illustrates this process. A trigger event, such as a missed deadline, leads to automatic thoughts like, "They don't respect my time," resulting in emotional responses of frustration and anger. This leads to behavioral choices, such as confronting the person aggressively, and consequences, including damaged relationships and increased stress. Early intervention points include recognizing the trigger and reframing automatic thoughts, while later intervention points focus on emotional regulation and choosing healthier behavioral responses. By understanding the anger cycle, individuals can learn to interrupt the sequence and choose more constructive responses, ultimately reducing the impact of anger on their lives. The consequences of poorly managed anger extend far beyond momentary discomfort, creating cascading effects that can fundamentally alter life trajectories. Understanding these impacts is essential as they provide the motivation necessary for sustained change, particularly when people recognize patterns they've previously attributed to bad luck or external circumstances. Relationship erosion is a significant impact, with trust eroded by anger outbursts, requiring significant time and effort to rebuild. Family members often become distant, avoiding conflict and adjusting their behavior to avoid triggering anger. Professional consequences include colleagues taking impressions of short-temperedness, which can lead to missed opportunities, damaged reputations, and career stagnation. Health deterioration is another critical aspect, with chronic anger creating a physiological stress cycle that impacts immune function, elevates blood pressure, and increases the risk of cardiovascular disease. Increased accident risk, higher substance use, and reduced life satisfaction are common among people with anger management issues, underscoring the need for intervention. Studies show that unmanaged anger can cost an average of £3,000 more annually in direct and indirect costs than those with healthy emotional regulation. Modern neuroscience has revolutionized our understanding of anger, revealing it as a complex neurological process involving multiple brain regions and rapid communication. This scientific perspective reduces shame and self-blame while providing clear targets for intervention strategies. The anger response begins in the amygdala, an almond-shaped structure deep in the brain's limbic system. Acting as the brain's alarm system, the amygdala triggers the hypothalamus to release stress hormones, preparing the body for action. When the amygdala activates, it floods the body with stress hormones and stimulates physical changes, often based on chronic problems in social norms. The amygdala hijack, a term coined by psychologist Daniel Goleman, explains why people feel as though they lose themselves during intense anger episodes. The prefrontal cortex, responsible for executive functions like planning and impulse control, is temporarily overridden, highlighting the importance of developing strategies to strengthen prefrontal cortex influence during anger episodes. The second R of anger management is based on neurochemistry. Stress hormones released during the initial anger response typically metabolize within 60 seconds. Techniques that help you pause during this critical window can prevent escalation. Cognitive restructuring techniques offer effective evidence-based approaches to anger management, rooted in the understanding that emotions are heavily influenced by how we interpret events, rather than the events themselves. This approach involves identifying automatic thoughts, examining evidence, generating rational alternatives, and choosing helpful thoughts. Before anger-fueling thoughts, ask yourself, is there any evidence to support this? After restructuring thoughts, consider, what is a more balanced perspective? Studies show that cognitive restructuring reduces anger incidents by an average of 30% when practiced consistently for 12 weeks. This technique works by interrupting the thought-emotion-behavior cycle at its core, allowing for physical and emotional relief. Physical relaxation techniques directly counteract anger's physiological effects, providing immediate relief while building long-term emotional regulation skills. These evidence-based methods work by activating the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and digest response, to negate the fight or flight activation inherent in anger. Deep diaphragmatic breathing involves breathing deeply into the lower lungs, activating the vagus nerve, which directly communicates with the brain to activate calming responses. Progressive muscle relaxation involves tensing and then relaxing muscle groups, releasing tension and stress. Guided visualization uses mental imagery to create a sense of calm, imagining a peaceful place or scene. Quick techniques for immediate use include box breathing, counting backward, and muscle release. Studies show that these techniques are effective because they stimulate the vagus nerve, which directly communicates with the brain to activate calming responses. This is why breathing exercises frequently work better than repeating empty techniques to be effective. Mindfulness offers a transformative approach to anger management by fundamentally changing our relationship with difficult emotions. Rather than fighting anger or suppressing it, mindfulness teaches us to observe anger with openness and curiosity, allowing us to respond rather than react. This practice develops awareness of anger's presence without judgment, recognizing its transient nature. Mindfulness for anger involves observing without judgment, body awareness, thoughts as weather, stability within change, and breathing anchor. Research shows that mindfulness practices reduce anger episodes by 50% within 6 months, as individuals learn to respond to anger with awareness rather than react impulsively. By learning to pause and breathe, we can interrupt the cycle of anger and respond more effectively to the emotions that arise. When anger arises, pause and ask, "What is happening in my body right now? How might this progress? Can I breathe with this experience rather than fighting it?" This simple shift from resistance to acceptance allows us to get through naturally, rather than battling the explosive episode. Mindfulness doesn't eliminate anger, it transforms our relationship with it. Instead of fighting, we learn to recognize the impermanent nature of these emotional responses. This generates the mental space necessary for developing strategies to deal with our values, rather than reacting to dynamic circumstances. Daily practice reduces stress from meditation, walking, or simply bringing present moment awareness to routine activities. The goal isn't to eliminate anger, but to develop the capacity to remain centered during emotional storms, extending emotional awareness, seeing someone choose calm in challenging moments. Managing anger involves communication techniques, like learning specific skills that honor your feelings while respecting others. The I statement formula and tone and body language are essential tools. The I statement formula involves expressing feelings without blame, using I feel statements to communicate needs. Tone and body language involve maintaining calm and assertive expression, avoiding aggressive gestures. Preparation practice helps identify triggers and plan responses, while opening statements set the tone for healthy relationship and assertive expression. Express and listen techniques involve active listening and expressing needs clearly, while problem-solving focus emphasizes finding solutions rather than assigning blame. Practice exercise. In tense situations, note how frustrations with friends or colleagues can build confidence and fluency while addressing anger constructively. For effective, quick coping and handling anger, a repertoire of immediate coping strategies can prevent minor irritations from escalating into major conflicts. These techniques are designed to be deployed quickly, often within seconds of recognizing anger's onset, ensuring personal preparation for a successful response. Strategic timeouts involve removing yourself from the triggering situation before emotions take control, allowing time to cool down. Physical movement, such as walking or stretching, can release tension and redirect energy. Coping interruption involves using mental techniques to shift focus, such as counting backward or visualizing a peaceful scene. Emergency techniques include the stop method, deep breathing, and anchoring phrases. Research shows that these techniques are effective because they help reduce the intensity of anger and prevent escalation. Activities like calling a friend or family member can also provide support, ensuring anger doesn't build up, leading to explosive episodes. Self-monitoring through journaling serves as one of the most effective tools in anger management. A personal anger journal can provide insights into multiple facets of emotional awareness, revealing patterns and helping to identify triggers and responses. Journaling provides a safe space for documenting personal experiences and emotions, allowing for reflection and growth. Essential journal elements include trigger documentation, physical sensations, thought patterns, emotional intensity, and response choices. By recording these elements, individuals can identify patterns and develop strategies for managing anger more effectively. Research shows that journaling improves emotional awareness and helps individuals develop healthier responses to anger. By reviewing journal entries, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of their anger patterns and develop strategies for managing anger more effectively. A sample journal entry format provides a structured approach to documenting anger experiences. It includes date, time, trigger, physical signals, thought patterns, emotional intensity, and response choices. This format allows individuals to reflect on their experiences and identify patterns in their anger responses. By using this format, individuals can gain insights into their anger patterns and develop strategies for managing anger more effectively. Research shows that journaling improves emotional awareness and helps individuals develop healthier responses to anger. By reviewing journal entries, individuals can gain a deeper understanding of their anger patterns and develop strategies for managing anger more effectively. Recognizing when anger management requires professional intervention is crucial for preventing serious consequences and accessing appropriate support. Many people delay seeking help due to stigma, cost concerns, or self-belief that emotional issues can be managed alone. However, professional support can provide the guidance needed to address anger effectively. Types of professional support include cognitive behavioral therapy, anger management programs, and specialized services. Finding quality support involves researching options, seeking recommendations, and evaluating providers based on their expertise and approach. Early intervention is more effective, and seeking professional help can prevent anger problems from escalating into serious consequences. By seeking professional support, individuals can access the guidance needed to address anger effectively and improve their emotional well-being. Sustainable anger management requires a long-term plan that includes daily practices, weekly strategies, monthly assessments, and quarterly planning. This comprehensive approach ensures that individuals can develop effective strategies for managing anger and improving their emotional well-being. Prevention strategies involve lifestyle changes, intervention techniques focus on early warning signs, and recovery processes include emotional regulation and support networks. By building a long-term anger management plan, individuals can develop effective strategies for managing anger and improving their emotional well-being. This comprehensive approach ensures that individuals can develop effective strategies for managing anger and improving their emotional well-being. A sample 30-day plan structure provides a framework for developing effective anger management strategies. It includes weekly goals, daily practices, and monthly assessments. This structured approach ensures that individuals can develop effective strategies for managing anger and improving their emotional well-being. By following this plan, individuals can develop effective strategies for managing anger and improving their emotional well-being. This structured approach ensures that individuals can develop effective strategies for managing anger and improving their emotional well-being.